So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in. So today we're going to talk about a question that I get asked quite a bit. Is land difficult to maintain? How hard is it to own land? What are just some ideas, some things to think about when owning or buying land? So we're going to go ahead and quickly address that. It is in the 30s here in South Texas, which for us is pretty cold. I know a lot of you guys up in the north, not that cold for y'all, but for us, pretty cold. It's gonna be in the 20s tomorrow. Anyways, so some of the things that I get asked is it difficult or hard owning land? Is it a lot of work? It kind of depends what you're gonna do with it. If you're gonna be running cattle out there, cattle, it's just like babysitting, man. You have to take care of the fences, make sure they have food, make sure they have water. If one gets sick, take them to the vet. If they start to calve or have babies, make sure they aren't struggling, having issues giving birth. If they do give birth, make sure that the calf is actually feeding and the mom isn't kicking them off. It just depends what you're gonna be doing. That's for that side if you're gonna have cattle. If you're gonna have goats, make sure that everything is enclosed well. Make sure that the goats aren't jumping out of the fence. Make sure they're going under the fence. Make sure that you don't have anything they can eat. They like to eat just anything and everything. So if you're gonna have animals on the property, plain and simple, it's gonna take some work. It's like babysitting. You have some type of life out there that you need to be taken care of. If you're gonna be doing something like I kind of do, which is more for wildlife and just kind of promoting wildlife, you really don't have to do much other than just let things grow free, like so. Just kind of let everything grow wild. Nature will kind of take care of itself. It'll cull itself. It'll provide for itself. It does pretty much everything you need. It's when you start to introduce other things that now you have to start taking care or managing those other things or babysitting those other things. But for out here, the deer, they take care of themselves. Hogs take care of themselves. All the natural animals or predators in the area take care of themselves. So it don't really take much work from me other than just not disturbing too much of the land itself, just kind of letting everything grow natural. That's the easiest way to do it. But again, if you're going to have cattle or any types of animals out here, then yeah, it's going to take some work. It's just like having a dog. The dog's going to rely on you to feed you. The dog's going to rely on you to feed him or her and give him water. Same thing for the cattle, same thing for the goats, all that stuff. They're going to rely on you to provide all that stuff for them, whether you dig a tank, have a trough, whatever. Outside of that, taking care of the fence line is a little bit of work. If you don't have cattle, your fence line is going to be fine. You do it one time and it's probably fine for the most part. But if you have cattle, they might be pushing on the fence, they might be leaning on the fences, bending poles, busting lines. Yeah, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some time away from you and your family or enjoying the property. But if you're not going to be doing that, probably shouldn't have that issue. What else? That's just the land. Now, if you start adding utilities and septics and plumbing and all kinds of stuff, if you're going to be living out there basically, yeah, that's going to be different. But just the land itself doesn't take a whole lot. Now, the only thing that you kind of want to do is take care of the trees or the branches or the overgrowth. If you want to be visiting your property, obviously, especially here in Texas, like mesquite trees like these right here, they grow very, very fast. So I can trim this guy and within a couple months, it's already overgrown and blocking the whole driveway or the road again. So that's one thing that is maintenance, I guess, if you want to call it that does take up some time, is depending on what kind of trees you have also. For us, like I said, the mesquites, they grow very, very quickly. And once they start to get beans, so I guess I'll kind of quickly explain. These trees grow beans. They're like long beans that grow on these trees in the spring, and they start to fall usually in the summer. These beans weigh down the trees very much, and they bring them down quite a bit. So like the tree will be here, and then by the time summer comes around with all that weight from the beans, now the branch is here, so now I might have to trim that branch or something like that because now it's in the way. So that's just some things to take care of and to maintenance. Again, You might not have that problem depending where you're buying land. If you're buying land in the hill country and you don't have, you know, mesquite trees, you might have different types of trees. Or maybe you're buying land out in, you know, the northern part of America. You know, you might not have these trees either, which you probably don't. Mesquites don't typically grow over there. You might have other issues. But for us, those are some of the most common things that are like more maintenance, that kind of involve more time and more maintenance, along with just maintaining the grasses. If you like to be out here and relaxing and walking your property, you're gonna want to make sure that it is well maintained, trees, grass, etc. Because down here you don't want to run into snakes. We have rattlesnakes out here, western diamondbacks, so you like to keep things pretty clean, so that way you can at least see what's happening down below and you aren't going to get surprised. It's not to say you're not going to run into something, but it's reducing the chances of it catching you off guard. So just things like that to kind of keep in mind. But overall, if somebody was to ask me if it's a lot of work, it's really not. I own rental properties and then I own land. Rental properties are a lot more work than freaking land, like a lot more work. With a rental property, you have a roof, you have a toilet, you have a water heater, you have a refrigerator, stove, floors, roofs, you have all kinds of stuff to take care of. With land, if you're just gonna do it for wildlife, there's really nothing to take care of other than just letting everything grow and not disturbing it too much. That's pretty much all you have to do. Every now and again, maybe check your fence lines, make sure nothing's down. But overall, just so much easier to own land than it is to own rental properties. Now, if you want to own land and you want to make it your own and you want to make it like a park and things like that, you can put as much work as you want into it. You can do undergrowth clearing. What that is basically, say we have, let's just take this tree for instance. Say you have this big tree, say it was bigger, a little bit bigger, and it had a bunch of growth here. You could go in and clean it, make it look nice. That gives more nutrition to the main tree that you're trying to preserve or make look pretty, because now the nutrients are not being sucked up by the plants around it. Kind of like this. If we wanted to do it with this, we would go around, clean up all around the base of the tree, clean out all the undergrowth, all the small plants. That way all the nutrients can go to the big major tree, and he can start to do even better, even well. That's what you can do. Again, owning land, you can find a bunch of things to do. If you really wanted to, you can find things that need to get done. But if you're just here just to kind of enjoy the property and not necessarily turn into a park or anything like that, just to come out here and relax, probably won't take much work. But if you want to make it look like a park setting, make it look nice and more inviting, I guess, you can have, you know, years and years of work ahead of you if you really wanted to. But yeah, there's there's difficulties to this. If you want to make it difficult, you want to give yourself more work, you definitely can do that. If you just want to passively sit and enjoy the property, you can also do that as well. The work is limitless, just based off of what you want to do with the property. But without further ado, be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.